Hey guys, this is our day 2 lesson of Daniel and the Lion's Den. All right, so remember yesterday we talked about lions and how they are seriously fierce animals, and how one man in the Bible had a scary close encounter with some lions. So remember yesterday we talked about how that there was a boy named Daniel, and when he was very young, he and some of his friends were taken to a faraway land. They were taken captive, and they ended up having to work for the king. One of the first things the king asked them to do was eat a certain type of food, and this was a bad thing for them. This was a problem because God had already commanded them about certain foods that they were not supposed to eat. And so Daniel stood up for their beliefs and asked if they could eat their own food. The king allowed them to eat their own food, and Daniel and his friends ended up looking stronger and healthier than everyone else. Daniel learned that this is always best to obey God no matter what, no matter if your life is in danger. And so when Daniel grew up, he became an important helper for King Darius. Daniel was the second in command. So God had blessed Daniel so much that when he grew up, he ended up being the second guy in charge underneath the king himself. So he was very important. But some of the other leaders were jealous of Daniel. They didn't like that the king liked him so much. They were always looking for something that he was doing wrong so they could go tell on him. But Daniel was a righteous man, and they could never find anything to get him in trouble for. And so Daniel would go to his house 3 times a day to pray to God because he knew that God was the only one who could keep him safe, and he loved God so much. So every day he would go to his house and he would pray 3 times a day. And so these bad men that were trying to catch him doing something wrong knew that the only way they would be able to trip him up and get him in trouble is if they could somehow stop him from praying. The bad leaders went to the king and told him that he needed to make a new law. Everyone needed to only pray to him for the next 30 days, and anyone who disobeyed would be thrown into a lion's den. Oh my goodness. King Darius agreed to the law, and he made it so. When Daniel heard this, he knew he would have a hard decision to make.